Hello, beautiful ladies. I am here to talk to you about how I create my art. And as you see behind me is the queen that I had at the art show. She is the 3 foot by 4 foot. She's acrylic painted queen. And I wanted to tell you how all of my art pieces start out. And basically they start out as an idea and as a sketch. So this queen started out just like this, as a sketch and an idea, and I put her on this piece of paper, and I just thought more for the dimensions of how she would fit on the canvas. So, and then I did a few little paint blotches to see the different colors. So this is how all of my paintings and all of my illustrations start out, is just an idea in my head, and then I sketch it on paper, and then with her I actually drew it on the canvas, and then I painted and went from there. So I do have some pictures of the creation of her that maybe I'll share later. I started creating her. This part is the part I started with, and then I went up and then I went down. So that's kind of how I start out my idea of how I do my paintings. And I also wanted to share with you how I do my prints, because a lot of people at my art show were asking me how I do my prints with the digital background. Those also start out just as a sketch on this paper. So I sketch all of my stuff, and then those are actually hand painted. So this lady you might recognize from my show, and she was started out as a blank piece of paper, and then I sketched her on here, and then I outline her in pen. So all of her legs, all of her if you can see here, she's all outlined in pen. I outline her face, and then after she's outlined in pen, I paint her. So this is all, if you could feel it, it's all acrylic paint. It's all kind of raised a little bit, so I paint it right on the paper. And so this is what she looks like before I upload her to my computer. This is the original that I will probably always keep, because this is what I'm going to make all the illustrations from. So I take this image and I take a picture of it and I upload it to my computer, and then I will take out the little imperfections on the computer. Like you can see here, I accidentally gave her a little mark on her lip. So on the computer, I can just erase all my little imperfections, so she stands out a little better. And so after I upload her to the computer, I just give her a nice background. And this background color, if you can see, is kind of like a pink color. But you can get, if you order a print, the great thing about it is you can get any background color you want, because once I upload her, I gave her a little makeup on the computer, so that was a little addition there. But everything else is just like the original print. I don't do any other computer enhancements. I just add her makeup in there and then just give her a background. But if you see a print that you like, that you want a different color background, maybe to match your bathroom or your bedroom or wherever you're going to hang her, I can always change the background color, because I just kind of cut her out of the old background and put a digital background there. So that's how she is created. Some people were thinking that she was completely digitally created, which she is not. She's hand painted first, and actually drawn first, sketched first, until I like how she looks. Then I outline her in pen, then I paint her, then I upload her, and then here is the result. And how I get the print is I send the digital image after I've given her a background. I send that to my local printer, Push Dot Studios, they're really wonderful. They're on Division Street. And I interviewed quite a few different printer places to print my art. To me, I really believe in local printing, and also the vibe of and the energy of the place that's handling my art, because to me the energy that surrounds it is important. And so I really like them as people. They really care about what they do, and they're very nice, and it's very easy. I just email them the image and I say, please print an 11 by 14 within a couple days. They notify me that the print is complete, and then I just go and pick it up, and then I send it to whoever has ordered it. So it's a pretty easy process. And this paper here is archival print paper. And as you know, I started this doing the art lesson a year ago. So I did ask the people at the printing place what is the best paper to print on, and he suggested this. I got the top quality paper, and the reason this paper is so great is that it won't fade. So if you hang this even in the sun or with a light on it or something, the colors aren't going to fade out. It's going to stay really vibrant and strong, and it'll look nice for years and years to come. So that was really important to me, because I want to produce a quality art item. To me, my women are very important to me, and I want the whole experience and the whole energy around them to be a positive thing. So that is why I don't send them away to like a cheaper printer or some place that may be cheaper but may not be the vibe that I want. So when you order one, I wrap her very beautifully like she's a gift, and then she comes to you, and she's always been surrounded by positive energy, which I love. So that is the process for how I create a print, and also how I create my paintings here. And I also wanted to give you some background on the way my women look. People comment, oh, she has really long legs, or she has really big shoes. You can see her shoes here. I always do the big platform shoes, and there's a reason behind that. I love fashion, I love clothes, and I think clothes make a statement. And when I was a teenager, I used to love to look through the fashion magazines and draw I thought they were beautiful women. And the reason I was so attracted to them is because I felt like they had power, just the look on their face, and they had these beautiful clothes on, and to me they looked powerful. To me they looked like above it all, that they didn't have any problems. They were kind of on a pedestal. I know that's not true as I grew older, but at the time that image just was beautiful to me. And so I used to find pictures that I could draw, and I would draw those women when I was a teenager. I'd have my drawings hanging in my room, and it would just make me feel very happy. And then people liked what I drew, and so that was another thing that made me happy too, is other people got pleasure out of my drawings. But the reason I draw them the way I do now, I didn't always draw them with the long legs and the big shoes. And to me, I purposely draw them kind of out of proportion. And the long legs to me means that if she was to stand up, she would be taller than everybody else, and she would be rising above everything beneath her. Because to me, that is power, and it's also rising above all the little things that don't really matter. She's rising above to her true purpose in life, and not letting the day-to-day things bog her down and distract her. So that is why I'll give all my ladies really long legs. And then to me, the shoes mean power to me. So I love shoes, and if I'm wearing a great pair of shoes, especially high shoes, it makes me feel powerful. And these big platform shoes, to me, all my ladies have big platforms because they're all powerful. And that's what the big shoes represent. I do love shoes, because people will say, oh, do you love shoes? You always make amazing shoes on your drawings. I do love shoes, but they also represent something. They also represent power to me. So the long legs represent rising above it all, the shoes represent power, and of course we all know what the crown represents. I believe all women are queens, and we need to find that power and be queens in our lives and queens in the world. And then I try to give them as pretty as I can, make them beautiful, because I think we're all beautiful. And then I try to make them interesting clothing, just because I think throughout history, clothing means something. When you look back in different eras, you can look at a photograph, and depending on what they're wearing, you kind of like, oh, that must have been the 1950s, that must have been the 70s, depending on their clothes. And so I think clothes represent a time in history, especially for women. That's how we present ourselves, is through our clothes a lot of times. And so there's a lot of meaning behind what we wear. And of course, she's wearing kind of royal clothes, which represents the queen. So that's kind of the history of how I started creating women and the meaning behind my pictures. I love drawing, I love creating these women, but there's also a meaning behind them that I take very seriously, and that is, I hope that other women see my drawings and feel empowered and beautiful. And I hope when they buy one of my illustrations and one of my prints, they know that it's all the energy behind it is pure energy, it's beautiful energy, and it is energy that's created to make you happy and to make you feel beautiful, because you are beautiful. So a lot of people ask me had these questions at my art show, and I loved my art show. It was absolutely fantastic. It was just way too short though. It was only 3 hours. And I can't even remember a lot of the conversations I had because my head was so in the clouds and so amazed at all the beautiful people that came out and supported me. So I can't even remember if I answered these questions or not, but I know that I got a lot of these questions. So I just thought I'd take this opportunity to go over how I create my art. And one last thing that I will show you, I was also selling greeting cards at my show. And so these are some of my greeting cards. This one I did not have at my show, just because the colors, my show was all pink and she was different colors. And I actually created her for Valentine's Day. So that was why she has like more of the reds and stuff like that. But any of my images you can make into greeting cards, and this is just a really, just white greeting card inside. But just like the images, where I can change the background, I can also change the card around this color. I can change to any color and create cards for you too. And these also are created with love and care and mailed to you in a beautiful package. So I hope kind of gives you a better understanding of what my art is all about. And if you read my blog and my art kind of go together. It's all about self-discovery. It's all about empowering. It's all about rising above the things in our lives that bog us down for no real reason. I know for me, I let a lot of people and a lot of situations just bring me down and take my power away and take my energy away. And so my message is to get rid of those toxic relationships, to try and rise above the day-to-day grind and just create beauty or listen to that beauty inside of you and tap that energy, because that's where your beauty is to give to the world. And I believe so many women, especially my age, feel like they are sidelined, or they feel like that energy, it's harder to tap into. I mean, I'm tired, I know I'm tired, and it's hard to take the time to really tap into that energy and to express yourself. But what I found is really focusing on getting rid of all the distractions and not giving your energy away, realizing that your energy is precious. Your energy is like gold. So be really careful how you spend that energy and who you give it to. People are privileged to get your energy. So spend time with people that really appreciate that. And if you want to be alone and create, then you should be alone and create. So that is my message to you. And there is a message behind the art, and I just wanted to make that clear. And I think if you have any questions, I hope you put a comment below. And that's just about it. Thank you for listening, and I hope it gives you more of an idea of my message on my blog and in my art. Thanks.